Hi, I'm Annie and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I am going to show you my top 15 survival foods that I always keep topped up in the pantry. I'll go through them and give you some uses and why they're on my list. The first one on my list, but they're not in any particular order of importance, apart from a big tub down here, which I will show you last. So the first one is rice. Yes, we have to cook it. If you boil it for 3 minutes, turn it off, have a lid on and cover it over with a couple of blankets, it will finish cooking on its own. The good thing about rice is it's very filling, and other uses is you can ground it down to make flour, so you can then add that to thicken soups or make breads and stuff like that. And of course it has a very long shelf life. My next one is dried peas, beans, lentils. A lot of these are categories for you, so if you don't like one you can pick something else. So I store a lot of chickpeas, black-eyed peas and stuff like that, popping corn. All those three in particular, I've had good success in germinating and growing my own seeds from them. So they're not only good to eat, but they're also good to grow for future food. The other thing about beans and peas and that is they are full of protein and packed full of energy, and also have a very long shelf life. Next one is tinned fish and tinned meats. When I'm buying stuff like this, the tuna and stuff, I tend to get in oil now, so I can then use the oil in the cooking as well and get the goodness and the energy from that. If you have brine, you can still use it as a cooking liquor, but it's not got as much energy in it. Cheaper options to the tuna are sardines and pilchards. Again, they are full of omega-3, so really good on that side. Really high in protein. You can get tinned meat, tinned hams, all ready to eat stuff. So you just open it up and you've got yourself a quick instant protein meal. So then I move on to my mixed veg. You can have powder, cans of mixed veg, you can have dehydrated. This stuff here was, this is freeze dried, sorry, and this is what I've dehydrated myself. I just bought some pre-ready frozen veg, let it defrost and dehydrated it and then vacuum packed it. You'll need those for your vitamins. It will also add interest to your cooking. Peanut butter, high in calories and really good in cooking, and no bake products. Like I've done a video on a no bake snack bar, so that's a really good ingredient to have in the cupboard. You can also buy peanut butter powder, but they are very expensive. Oats, really important. A good filler, obviously have it for porridges. You can put it in snack bars. You can grind it down as flour, and you can also make oat milk from it. So really universal, cheap product to have ready to go. Then I've got salt. We need salt. It also adds flavour to any cooking that we're doing. So especially in hot weather, you will need the salts and electrolytes to put back in. And of course, really good if you're preserving anything, preserving meat or anything like that. You've got the salt to shake the moisture out of it. Pasta, I've got pasta on there. Easy carbs, easy to cook. Again, if you bring it up to the boil and then turn it off and cover it over, it will again cook in the pan. You can have tinned fruit. You've got the juice in there. You've got instant energy hit. You can have powders. and also dried fruit like sultanas and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant, great energy boost, and a very, very quick, easy snack. Sugar is on my list. I haven't got honey on my list. I've got sugar on my list. Absolutely great for everything. Great energy hit. Can use it in preserving and stuff like that. The honey is very, very expensive. We can make our own dandelion. If we've got sugar, we can make our own dandelion honey and golden syrup and stuff like that. The only benefits you have with the honey is the health benefits, but you have to spend a lot of money in this country to get a really good honey. So for me, it isn't viable to have that sat on the shelf. This one isn't quite so important. I consider it a bit of a luxury item really, and it's oils rather than butters and stuff like that. I do have ghee on the shelf, but when you melt ghee down, it goes to oil. So you might as well just buy an oil. So I tend to go for like a corn oil, or you can have vegetable oil, that's fine. This one is red palm fruit and rapeseed oil. Extra virgin olive oil is just so expensive, and this was half the price and really, really tasty. Lard, I never really considered it a long-term shelf stable until I looked into it last week and realised that I could jar it, and it will sit in my pantry on the shelf for a couple of years, because I don't like to have lots of stuff in the fridge and the freezer in case something goes wrong. So I tend to store stuff in my cupboards. I will add the video to this on the end of how I've made that shelf stable. So for 50p, absolute bargain, and yeah, no special equipment needed. All the products I've mentioned so far have all been fairly cheap, and I know you can get most of them for well under £2. I priced up one item in each category here earlier. So it was a kilo of sugar, a bag of lentils, a bag of chickpeas, 2 bags of pasta, a little pot of peanut butter, and it all came, excluding the milk powder, it came to 17 quid. So I thought that was pretty good, really. The milk powder, because we don't use it much in this country anymore, availability is quite hard, and actually Asda online, they only do a skimmed milk powder. That's all they do. The only other thing it came up with was baby milk powder. So maybe that's an option, because it is a milk powder and it'll have all the vitamins and minerals in that we need, and we can still use it as normal powder. Probably if you put it in an unmarked jar, nobody would even know. So that may be a cheaper alternative. This one, I think I paid about £3.50 for it from Farm Foods, but I paid a lot more for I know it was a bigger tin, but I've got some in my stock room, and it was a lot dearer than that. So uses for obviously drinking. It's got lots of calcium and vitamins and minerals in it. You can use it in baking, in milkshakes and stuff. So you could also make cheeses and stuff like that out of it. Yes, milk powder, definitely one to have in. And again, shop around, because availability in this country is limited for the full fat version. I wouldn't want to say that when I'm drunk. My final product, I will turn the camera down here. And so my final products, and these are my #1 products that I recommend everybody have, because they are absolutely brilliant for any situation. And that, of course, is not only aqua tabs, because within half an hour you'll have drinking water, even if it looks, even if it's come from a muddy puddle, you can sterilize it. It may not look great, but it will be safe to drink. But MREs, and you don't have to buy this sort of thing. You can get tins of food like beef stew, curries and stuff like that, but stuff that is ready to eat, and you can eat hot or cold. It's not in a jar, so it's not going to break. So in a hurricane or something like that, these sorts of things will be absolutely vital. I've got all sorts of stuff in here. I think I've got another half a one as well. I've also, these have got hot chocolate drink powder, peanut butter. That's hot chocolate. What's this one? I need my glasses. Mixed fruit. But yeah, lots of those will be absolutely vital in a real emergency. And of course, having it in the big tub, if all I could take with me was this tub, I know I'll be all right for a little while. Me and the family, we'd manage until we could sort something else out or get back and get the rest of the stuff. I do have one final product. It's not a survival product whatsoever. It's a feel-good factor, and that is just cheap chocolate. I didn't really have stuff like this, I have to admit, until about 6 months ago. I was watching, I can't remember whose channel it was, and I'm so sorry, but on one of the comments, it said that she had been in a hurricane. They obviously had prepped really well, but one thing she hadn't realised just how much she would use, and that was chocolate. She had children as well, but she said that it was just, they got through the chocolate quite quick in the first couple of weeks, and it was just simply a feel-good factor. So now I do stock it, but I just stock the cheap varieties. I think if I had more expensive stuff here, I would just eat it anyway. That's the end of my video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. And literally, these are stuff that I have just, as you can see, taken out of my pantry. The stuff I use every week, but they're also my main core 15 items that I stock up regularly and heavily. And when I use it, rotate it, so that the dates are always good. If you did like the video, please give it the old thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that has continued to watch and support the channel. It's fantastic. I've just clocked over 1,500 subscribers, which is amazing. So yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully see you in the next video. Till next time, bye. When it comes to stocking stuff for the pantry, we all know to put oils and stuff like that in there. I had a look into the old lard, because obviously this is a very, very cheap option. This one was 50p, and actually I can get 2 years life out of it on the shelf by putting it into jars, and it's really simple. No special equipment required. Basically, you heat your jars up in the oven or air fryer, which I'm doing at the moment, for 10 minutes on 120 degrees. Then you melt your lard, and then take your jars out, put the lard straight in, put the lids on, and that is it. Job done. No water canning, no pressure canning, no nothing. So we're going to have a go at that now. The reason it's so shelf stable is because there's no water in it. It's the job is, the work is already done for us, so we just have to melt it. Just gonna give this another clean off. Put some white sauce vinegar. My jars are ready. Got this to do. Let's get the lid missing somewhere. I'm just letting this do slowly. Never walk away, leave it unattended or anything like that, especially if you've got young children. You'll need a pair of gloves in the minute to be able to pick up the hot jars and this. But we're nearly ready. We'll just let that finish melting, and then we'll jar it up. We are just about done. There's a tiny 2 little dots in the bottom, so by the time I get my jars out, that will be ready. Don't think there's anything on the lids because obviously I've had the filler, but I'll just double check. So because of the jars and the oil are hot, as they cool, they should pop down and seal as normal. But yeah, 4 jars of lard. Lovely.